Hey, welcome, everyone. It's the Stan Show, and I'm Stan Arthur, your host. I'm here today with my co host, Chevy Millard. Say hello, Chevy.
What's happening, Stan?
Well, you just gave me a transition it wasn't supposed to. I don't know why. Let's see if that's going to happen again. Let's see if I go here and go back. Oh, yeah, it's going to do that stupid move transition every time. I don't know why, man. This OBS is a conundrum to me.
Right.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's what it is. So let's just stay on maybe this little split screen right here, and you and me both, because that one works the way it's supposed to. So how you been? I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, going through a couple medical things, but I'm doing all
Yeah,
right.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Saw something on Facebook about that.
Yeah. Don't go to Silva Hospital if you're really hurting.
I swear I had my knee replaced,
Yeah.
but that was the sports medicine orthopedic
Right.
place,
Yep.
and that Doctor Supak, I think his name was Supak. Great guy,
Right.
great guy, great anesthesiologist too, except for when he ripped the hose out of my nose when
Yeah.
I was coming to. And when you're just coming to out of something like that, and somebody rips a hose out of your nose, it can feel like somebody's trying to extract your brain
Right.
through your nose,
Right.
which is what it kind of felt like. And it freaked me out, but I was so out of it that I couldn't really go, "Wah!"
Right.
or
Right.
anything like that. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And it literally upset me for hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
which it shouldn't have,
Right.
because I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I've had surgical procedures before.
Right.
For some reason, it freaked me out. I don't
Yeah.
know. But anyway, good
Yeah.
guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Just
They're
just don't go to their ER.
It was the ER, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I went to the ER. So it started at work. I started having a little bit of chest pain and everything, and then I just got all of a sudden dizzy and everything. And we have a wonderful EMT where I work and everything, and they kind of got me situated and everything. And then so I got a ride to the hospital and everything, and we checked in. And
So no ambulance or anything.
no,
Okay.
no. But once you go to the ER and you tell them, hey, I'm having serious chest pains and I'm a little dizzy, it's usually supposed to be all hands on deck
Yeah.
and everything. No, I got my blood pressure checked and they put on my paper hypertension, and I sat in the waiting room for 4.5 hours
Well,
holding my chest.
well, hypertension, that's high blood pressure, basically.
Right.
Okay. So you're sitting there with nobody helping you out for how long?
4.5 hours.
Oh, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, and so at that point we finally gave up, and then we went on to Haywood, and all they did was take my blood pressure and temperature.
What time of day was this?
It was probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the evening.
And we're in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
afternoon.
And
Yeah.
they were not busy?
Not really, not in the waiting room.
Wow.
There was probably like 3 or 4 people in the waiting room.
Silva Hospital, man.
I don't know how the
It's
back was looking.
Harris.
Yeah.
Harris Memorial, right?
Yeah.
Get your act together, man. What is that about?
Yeah, but as soon as I got to Haywood,
Yeah.
they got me in the back. They took an EKG. They took all of the blood work. They took a chest X-ray
Mm-hmm.
before I ever saw a doctor and everything. And so they had all this done within the first 5 minutes that I never even got touched for 4.5 hours.
Wow. That's ridiculous, man. That's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Thank God nothing serious was actually happening.
Wow, man. Well, I think I got my little switcher thing figured out here, just on the fly here. Let's
Right.
see. Nope. Still giving you that slide transition, and it just does not want to work. Let's try it one more time here. It cuts back to me, but then nope, does that thing, and nowhere on here do I have that slide transition set up on your camera.
Right.
Nowhere. That's so weird.
Yeah.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, so that you had that going for you, which was no fun.
No.
So what happened after that?
Well, they said I did have a little bit of a high blood pressure and everything, and but they think they're being suspicious of something with my heart, or I think it's called PVC or something like that.
How old are you? You about 33?
I'll actually be 35 in February.
35.
Yep.
35.
Yep.
I think when my brother was your age, he had a similar
Yeah.
thing. You've never met my brother Fred, have you?
No.
He's got a farm out in Whittier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got 28 acres out there that he mows all by himself. He's 70.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes him during the growing season. It takes him 2 days
Right.
to do the whole thing. 2 days a week. He spends 2 days a week mowing.
Man.
Wow. Like, man,
If it's a sitting mower, I'm fine.
He's got a John Deere,
Yeah.
I got the zero turn
Right.
thing, which I have a ball with. Almost killed myself on the first time I rode it. Very seriously, almost killed myself.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't understand. But he had an issue, some sort of thing, and they got him all hooked up to the EKG and
Yeah.
all that, and yeah, I think he did the whole ambulance ride and the whole thing, and
Right.
back then. He just done real well since then. I
Yeah.
mean, here we are like 35 years later,
Yeah.
and he's fine. And he doesn't talk about his heart issues at all. My mom had heart issues.
Right.
I don't have it. I take more after my dad's side of the family
Yeah.
though.
See, that's what
But
scares me because my dad has heart issues, and
yeah,
so it runs in our family, and
yeah.
it scared me. And so yeah, they think I have a possible extra heartbeat, and they think
An arrhythmia, is that what they call it?
something like that,
Yeah,
and they think it kind of all perfectly storm happened at once, where my blood pressure kind of rocketed and my heart extra beated at the
yeah.
same time, and kind of sent me through a dizzy spell. And so I've got to get a heart monitor and wear that for 7 days and see if that catches
You don't have it
anything.
yet.
Not yet. I'm getting it
So
in a couple weeks.
have you ever experienced this before?
I've had the dipping sensation before, and
Yeah.
everything, but never thought much of it and everything. I never really thought about it.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And I mean, I'm working on getting healthier and everything, and I've lost about 35 pounds, and
Wow.
yeah. So
Since when?
let's see, October.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I started
That's
trying to eat a little
fantastic.
bit better and everything, because I got to my scariest, heaviest was I was 301 pounds, and I started this with you in the
Wow.
podcast
Yeah.
and everything, and I told myself I'd never get that heavy and everything, and then all of a sudden there I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I gotta get healthier and everything, because I want to
Absolutely.
be around for my kid and run around and catch him and play with him and
Well, I'm proud of you,
everything.
man. That's
Yeah,
great.
I'm
That's
working on it.
awesome.
I'm trying to take my health seriously.
Well, 35 pounds.
Yeah, I've quit smoking. I used to smoke and everything, and so
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I never did that. Well, fooling around as a kid and all that
Right.
crap, and here and there. Tried a pipe for a while.
Yeah,
Also tried cigars for a while. And I'm like, nah.
yeah,
I feel the same way about drinking now, too.
yeah.
I never drink here at home. And guess what? I never leave home.
Right.
Sometimes they'll send me down for a pizza down at Anthony's.
Right.
Have to go pick up a pizza. And of course, I don't order it till I get there. So it's going to be 20 minutes.
Right.
So I can slug down a couple of PBRs in that
There you
amount of
go.
time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be, man, the craft beer guy.
Right.
And, paying $7, $8 for a pint of beer and all
Yeah.
that. And at one point, I just go, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's real tasty, but I can live without it.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, my biggest issue, I think, is my nutrition because
Right.
I don't eat well. But I take a lot of supplements now.
Yeah.
Take a lot of them. And I was taking fruits and vegetable supplements. I've just cut that out because I've been eating pretty well vegetable-wise lately.
Yeah.
The fruits and vegetables, eating a lot of apples,
Yeah.
which I love. I love apples. But, I've been doing things like doing kind of hibachi style broccoli and
Mhm.
onions and mushrooms and carrots
Yeah.
and stuff. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm 68. I don't think I look 68 except for the big gray beard, but that's a choice. I could obviously shave that off and not have a
Right.
beard, but I think I look better with the beard.
Yeah.
Obviously, you think you look better with
Oh
the
yeah.
beard.
My
too.
wife's a big proponent. She thinks all men should have a beard.
Well, bless her heart. I don't think I've ever met her, have I?
You've probably met her at the farm a couple times, possibly.
Don't think so.
But yeah, no, she's a big proponent. She thinks all men should have a beard.
Well, that's wonderful. And do you have a counterpart to that? Like all women should have a.
I really don't.
I maybe drop that.
Yeah, no,
That could go places we don't want to
Yeah.
go.
no, I'm not.
Uh,
Not caked on makeup.
Now, Chevy, I understand. Now we've talked about this, and you want to take a little break from this. Which
Yeah,
is totally understandable.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back a little bit and everything. Like I said, I've got the heart stuff going on. I've actually got some back issues going on, and I've got a procedure coming up for that.
Yeah.
I just found out that I've got a tore rotator cuff in my shoulder, so I'm gonna have to get that
I've had
fixed.
that for years.
Yeah,
Done nothing about it.
yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
about it.
Mine's getting to a point where it's so painful. Like I just sit here in pain and nothing touches it and everything. So I've just over the months I've kind of just learned to deal with it. But it's kind of getting to the point where I can't even pick up my own son and without screaming or something.
Yeah,
And
that's not good.
yeah, me and my wife, we love backpacking and hiking and stuff. So I can't even put on a pack or carry my son and everything. So it's affecting real life.
Yeah, get her done.
Yeah.
Now, go see Dr. Supak at Harris Regional.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you can get a referral for him, he's the best.
Yeah.
He's absolutely the best. He's done well over 2,000 knee replacements, done something like 1,500 hip replacements.
Right. Right.
But sports medicine, of course, he's way into the shoulder things and all
Yeah.
that. For me, my biggest discomfort, believe it or not, is washing my hair.
Right.
When you lift your arm that way and go up like this, it's like, ow.
Yeah.
That's it for me. So
Well, me, yeah, it's getting to that, and I can't even put on deodorant to my left side without.
that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it because mine has been bad and good and bad and good and bad and good. I've been going through a fairly good period for a couple of years now.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Got to be a torn cuff though. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've actually orthopedics. I've been dealing with my doctor for a while now, Dr. Josh Patton. Pretty good guy. I
where's
like
he? Where's he?
Silva. He's Silva
Is he at
Orthopedics.
Harris
Yep.
Regional? He probably works in the same the orthopedic. There's it's a building in front of the hospital.
Yeah. Second floor.
The second floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He
Cool.
he probably works up there with them. But I've been dealing with Josh for a while now and everything. He's been taking good care of me. And so we did a ultrasound my last visit and saw the tear and the fluid buildup and
Ew,
everything.
yeah, not good.
Yeah, so I got some medical stuff I want to get taken care of and everything, and get some things prepared for a shoulder surgery and everything, because it's going to be hard with a 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old now.
Yeah. But now, despite all of Chevy's infirmities, you are gonna he is gonna stay involved.
Yes,
And we've been talking a lot about the county commission election that's coming up in November.
I believe so.
So it's a ways away.
Yeah, it's got some time.
But you've already got people announcing their candidacy for that. My former co-host here, Courtney
Yes.
Dillard, is running.
Yep.
Also, Afton. Now, is she go by what last name does she use?
That's actually a great question because
Thank you.
It has
I thought of
switched.
it myself.
Let's see here.
But it's Nate Darnell's sister,
She goes by Darnell. Afton Darnell.
Afton Darnell, and she's also running for county commissioner.
Yep.
And are there others?
There are a few more. I've got to get their names to be sure and everything.
Is there going to be a primary?
I'm not 100% sure. I know there's a couple people on Facebook that are asking for a debate in town, and so I'm gonna get a hold of him and get the contacts of these people that are running and see.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate that. That's
see if
cool.
we can get them on the show and get their what they want to do for this town, how to make this town a little bit better.
Any of those you want to send to me, we'll sit here and do a full hour show or more.
Yeah.
I did a 3-hour show last week. If any of you saw it, dear old friend of mine, Glenn Quiggins, who lives in Kentucky, did a remote with him that went extremely well and fascinating stories. I hope that you all go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's called The Glenn Quiggins Story because we did his entire life story on it, and it was riveting.
Right.
Absolutely riveting. I have visited him in Kentucky, what I call my UFO trip.
Yeah.
And because where he lives on the edge of the Daniel Boone Forest out in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky,
Right.
they have UFOs every night.
Yeah.
And I myself personally saw a bright glowing orb in the sky that hung there for at least 30 or 45 minutes that we shot, that I was shooting at it with my camera.
Right.
And at the same time, we saw all these other things that I couldn't photograph because they were too small, what I called these fast movers that just jetted across the sky and said, oh, those are satellites, but they're not satellites. They're
Right.
not going just east to west. Like satellites always go from east to west.
Right.
and they'll go across the entire sky. These were going every which direction, some of them curving, bending around, not taking a straight path. It was just, I've told the story a bunch of times.
Right.
I'm sure y'all are getting bored of hearing it, but absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
He had a film crew out there, and I've heard a little bit more about that since then. Film crew, and there's an actor whose name I can't remember, but it's going to be his show. It's called Strange Visitors,
Okay.
and it's a show they're preparing for one of the networks. I don't know who it is. Might be Prime, might be Netflix, might be something. It could be any of them these days.
Right.
History Channel, which they do a bunch of that ancient alien stuff and all that stuff. Could be one of those. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to sell it to, but man, these people are clamoring for content. So
Right.
they will find a buyer, and it will be on.
Right.
They did a whole episode out at Glenn's house,
Right.
so that should garner him some more notoriety
Yeah.
and some more views of my podcast with him. I would think. I would hope anyway.
Right.
So there is that. So yeah, I will take anybody you want to send my way to do a program here locally, and I would love to focus more on local things anyway.
Right.
I usually send the links. I put these out on there's 3 different Bryson City groups on Facebook.
Right.
You've got Rants and Raves, you got Bryson City Local, and then you've also got Bryson City Word of Mouth.
Okay.
So I'm members of all those, and I'll post things in. I won't post something in there unless it's about something local.
Right.
So, like, I didn't put the Glenn Quicken story in there because nothing local about it.
Right.
But so I'm not just a hack looking for views. All
Right.
right. First of all, I know I'm not going to get them most of the time, and I don't really care. I'm retired and I'm doing this for a hobby.
Right.
So please understand that and know that. Was an entertainer for a good part of my life, and I just love being here and doing the thing. You
Right.
know, so that's just part of me and the wonderfulness of me. Anyway, so there's that. So what would you like to talk? You got anything you want to throw in today before I get started on my nonsense?
No, I've got nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Once again, you had an excellent Christmas holiday season out there at
Absolutely.
Darnell Farms. Froze your butt out there in the shack, running the
Oh,
light
yeah.
show and the music and all that. I did see the Darnell Farms is closed. I think yesterday, today, and maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, for the cold weather.
Cold weather.
Yeah.
Cold weather, and I know they don't have any festivals or anything coming up for a while yet. Do they do a Valentine's Day thing out there? I'm not sure.
Last year they did. They did, and actually, it was actually really nice. Me and my wife went.
I went too. I just don't remember it.
Yeah. They did a dinner and
Uh-huh.
candlelight dinner, and
I did not do that.
yeah, no, they did a candlelight dinner, and Nate was a server, and Afton
Aw.
actually cooked the meal, and it was very delicious.
Cool.
And then they did like a nighttime hayride with romantic music going on and everything.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. So I must be thinking of into March, like St. Patty's Day or
Yeah,
something.
they do a St. Patty's Day
Yeah.
event and everything.
Yeah.
But no, I think they're gonna try to do a Valentine's Day thing again this year. And
I just love Darnell Farms.
yeah,
I love it. I love that it's a work in progress, that they're always adding stuff. They're always upping things and
Absolutely.
improving things and so much good stuff. And I loved the hour and a half or so we did with Nate in
Yep.
here a couple months ago. That was great.
yeah.
Really, really cool.
I've known that
Um,
guy for a long time, and I learned some stuff that day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can get Nate back in here and we talk about whatever he's got coming up, maybe in a month or so, 6
Absolutely.
weeks or so. We'll see if we can get Nate back in here. Nate, if you're watching, you're always welcome here. There's that. Man, they had a real good season down there at the Bryson City Brewing
Yeah.
with live bands. It started during the summer, right? They did live bands every Friday and Saturday.
Right.
And then when the weather turned cold and they got the new tap room opened up, started putting them inside. They're still doing live bands.
Yeah.
But it's now just Saturday night, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're doing live bands on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I just think it's such a great thing, especially since the other live music place in town closed up and became another vape bar or vape place.
Right. Just what
Whatever.
we needed. We need 5 more vape places and another Mexican restaurant.
Well, the one closed.
Yeah.
The Plebamos.
Yeah.
They closed.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle the competition, I guess. I like the food there.
Yeah.
The food was great.
No, that one and Four Queens are my 2 favorite ones.
Four Queens is great.
Yeah.
Have you been to this one down on Everett Street?
I have from what I've heard, it is actually family of
It's family.
four queens.
Oh, is it
I
really?
think
Well,
so.
it's a whole family in there.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes they got 8 people working in there, and there's nobody in the restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're floating that,
yeah,
but in all honesty, the second time I went there were quite a few people in there
yeah,
eating. So
yeah,
it's nice. The people coming off the train, they see a Mexican restaurant, they're gonna, probably go try it.
yeah.
I didn't have such a great experience at Native Brews when I went there, but and it's not really their fault,
Right.
except for the smidgen of protein I got on my tacos, not my nachos. What did we order? Yeah, we just got a big thing of nachos,
Yeah.
but we got nachos with beef, and they're like, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?"
Right.
There was that, and there was also the cost of the drinks, which was
Yeah.
high, really high. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going back to Anthony's,
Yeah.
and which we could depend on for good quality food and great prices.
Yeah.
So there's
Have you
that.
been able to try the tuck and table yet?
Have not been there yet. I've read
Yeah.
some good things about it.
Me and Katie went. It's pretty darn good.
What'd you have?
Let's see here. Man, I could have told you if you'd never asked me.
I've seen their menu, and it's pretty
yeah.
Americana.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. Golly, no, I can't even think about
And
it.
they do a family style approach there.
Kind of.
Well, it's just the two of you, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's.
but if
just
you
two
order
of us.
like the vegetable that comes in a bowl and you help yourself, that kind of thing.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it's just made to order and
Okay.
everything. Yeah. It
Okay.
was pretty darn good, and it's a little pricey, but it's a little bit more of a fancier place.
Right.
And when they first opened up, you had to have a reservation to get in there.
Right.
It was highly recommended, or you
Sure.
just weren't getting a table.
Well, we're off season now. We're way
Yeah.
off season now.
Yeah.
I mean, even the train just is running like on weekends only now, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's a good indication that there's not a lot happening in this town right
Right.
now. But that always changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always changes. It's always wonderful.
Yeah.
I love seeing the tourists in town. I know a lot of people hate it, especially if you go on rants and raves on the in the Facebook group.
Right.
Man, there's some haters in there. Whew,
Yeah.
there's some haters in there.
Yeah. There's some understanding about it, especially with no offense to the train, but what the train gets away with is pretty weird.
You're right. You're right. But they hate people like me
Yeah.
simply because I'm not from here.
Right.
And if
Hey,
you're-
I'm not
if-
here there, so
Well, if you're not from here, well, you went to school here, didn't you?
yep. I came in fifth
Okay,
grade.
then you came from here then. But I get no credit.
Yeah.
I get no credit at all. I mean, even coming up here like 5, 6, 7 times a year,
Right.
just anytime we possibly could, we drop what we were doing. We drive up here 10 hours
Yeah.
just to spend 3 days here.
Yeah.
And then drive back. We've been doing that for years.
Yeah. That's how we moved up here. We come on vacation here,
Yeah.
and just happenstance and everything. Father got a job at the casino, and we moved up here.
Awesome. No, we're Floridians.
Yeah.
And other names that they like to put, on people who don't come from here. I have a different opinion of the whole thing. I mean, they can do what they want to do, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit, but more on like a whole nationwide scale.
Right.
Let's get into something
I
here. What do
gotcha.
you say? Let's get into something here. So I told you, and you responded very quickly today. I told you about this fellow named Paul Rizzoli,
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rizzoli, who is he is an Amazon conservationist,
Right.
and 20 years.
Yep.
In the Amazon, and when you think of the Amazon, you think, oh, it's a jungle, right? You have to really take a look and see. This is the world's largest jungle. I
Right.
mean, it's from coast to coast
Right.
in South America, and everything in between, largely untouched by human hands.
Right.
Ever. We're talking over millions of years.
Yeah.
Right. And so there have always been stories about the Amazon, about ancient tribes in the Amazon, uncontacted by civilization.
Right.
And for many, many decades, those rumors went around and swirled around, but were always discounted as a hoax or rumors or this or that. But now that we have experienced things in the Amazon that should not have happened, and when I say that, I'm talking about a lot of narco activity.
Right.
Also, very big is illegal logging.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Illegal logging and deforestation of the Amazon, which is one of the only natural rainforests left on Earth.
Right.
There's that. There's certainly the largest one by far, the largest one. So, and there's also another problem is illegal mining operations
Yeah.
going on in there. Uh, and there are stories that are more than just stories about some of these illegal operations going on in there, and suddenly all those people disappear.
Right.
And a lot of blood is found, and a lot of dead, bloated bodies are found. And so, what's going on there? Well, Paul Rizzoli has been going in deep into the Amazon
Right.
on rivers, tributaries, all. I mean, if you look at a map and you see this, it's like veins. It's like veins, arteries going through the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's like they're main rivers, and they all branch out into these tributaries and go way out. It's just like a circulatory system.
Right.
It's very, very intriguing. Uh, but now, before I say that, let me back up and say that in the 70s, I think even in the 80s, there were some really horrific movies made about this,
Yeah.
about uncontacted tribes in the Amazon.
Right.
And these were strictly gore movies, exploitation films.
Right.
There was one called Cannibal Holocaust. Did you ever hear of that one?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever hear of The Green Inferno?
I've heard of that name.
The Green Inferno was so popular that they even did a remake of it.
Okay.
Crazy. All
Right.
right. Somebody did a remake of The Green Inferno. Well, I'm a big film fan. I watch everything that comes along. And of course, when I heard about these, I'm like, what's that going to be like? And the blood and gore stuff never really bothered me because it's totally just Hollywood,
Right.
right? There are things that would bother me, things that would upset me to the point where I'm not going to watch this anymore.
Right.
But to most part, it's just special effects and somebody having fun and right.
Right.
So, I watched Cannibal Holocaust, and it wasn't so bad. It was a lot of hype, but then there came the last 5 minutes of the movie, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I watched this.
Right.
And the same could be said for the Green Inferno. There's a third one, which his name I can't remember now, but it's just a thing of like these eco tourists, if you want to call them, going up a river and then making contact with this, or people come out of the forest, they come out of the jungle, and they're savages. Obviously, they're savages, barely dressed, if dressed,
Right.
and they somehow they make friends with them and all that, and they end up taking them off and slicing the top of their head off and drinking their brains or something like that.
Right.
Something god awful, right?
Right.
Like that, right? Well, those are the movies.
Right.
Well, it turns out the reality is not far from the movies.
Right.
I'm not going to say cannibalism because that doesn't appear to be, at least not yet.
Right.
It doesn't appear to be a thing. But yes, there are lost tribes out there in the Amazon, and
Right.
there's a good reason for it. Well, there's a lot we don't know yet, but we do know that in the 1870s, what they called the rubber barons, not the robber barons. You probably heard of the robber barons like J.P. Morgan, and there's a few others, the
Right.
Rothschilds, and there's a few others. They called the robber barons, but these were actually rubber barons. And the reason being because it was the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the Industrial Revolution.
Right.
And there was suddenly this huge demand for rubber. And they did a lot of experiments. They tried building rubber plant farms and all this stuff. None of it worked.
Right.
Because you get these plants together and you isolate them from their natural habitat where they came from. You can plant rows and rows and rows and rows of them. They're all going to die.
Right.
Why? It's called a leaf blight. They get some sort of disease, a leaf blight, when they're just out there on their own,
Right.
and it just doesn't work. And I don't think science has ever figured that out. If they have, I don't know about it.
Right.
So what it became dependent on is for them to send them. I'm going to say these rubber barons. They developed a network of bad people, very bad people, who would go into the Amazon and they'd chop these plants down and they bring them out and they also anyone they encountered out there they killed.
Right.
They killed them. Anybody. They enslaved some. I mean, it was a horrible, one of the worst times you can say in modern history, in modern times, because it was about the turn of the century,
Right.
1900. One of the absolute most disgusting, horrific treatments of other human beings in our modern times.
Right.
Other than the Holocaust with the Jews and all
Right.
that. Other than that, which was substantial, talk about 6 million Jews, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, but this was just a bloodbath, an absolute machete bloodbath. Okay. And there were groups at that time that were uncontacted, on the edge of civilization, and they just went deep into the forest.
Right.
They just took off and said, "Nope, you're not having your way with us." They saw what was happening. They saw the murder, death, and destruction, and they just went deep, deep into the forest. And they've remained there until today. These uncontacted, naked savages, and that's what they are. And they are hyper violent, and they just want to be left alone.
Yeah. That's it.
They just want to be left
Right.
alone. Now, there have been incidental contacts along the way. There's a story about a husband and wife who were tooling down one of these rivers on their own, I don't know, expedition or whatever.
Right.
And been going for days, I guess. And at one point during one of these days, it pulled up to like a beach area on the riverbank
Right.
where he was going to start a fire and they were going to cook some food. And they got up there and they started hearing bizarre noises and things and rustling and things going on. And suddenly one of these arrows comes out of the air and goes through the man's leg and pins him down. And then these people start showing up.
Right.
Always men, by the way. Always men. No women. Just men coming out. Naked savages. Complete savages. Mumbling. And he said, "Save yourself, get out. I can't go with you." She jumped in the river and started swimming down the river. And as she got down the river, she turned around and she saw these men tearing her husband apart. They apparently they like to open you up and try to figure out what you've been eating.
Yeah.
How disturbing is that?
Yeah. Pretty
Well,
crazy.
and there have been other instances of this, and there have been a lot of warnings about this to people who live in the civilizations nearest to this. A lot of warnings for these people: do not go in there, do not go up in there, do not do this. Well, as an Amazon conservationist, you have to go in there,
Right.
and you just have to be very, very, very careful. And he's talking about a whole team of people
Right.
with guns, machetes and guns and all that. There had been a operation set up, a conservation operation set up deep into the forest on this river, and they were growing plantains as something to eat and to have something. Plantains are very, very plentiful around there,
Right.
and they're very easy to grow, very easy to take care of. Basically, they take care of themselves. You plant them or whatever, and you pick them, and they grow back next year.
Right.
Right. And at one point, this was just a year or two ago, this place radioed in saying, "We've got visitors. They're coming. The natives are coming out of the trees, and they're looking at us, and we're really, really afraid." And so Paul, he gets several of his people together, and they were able to get a boat. And it wasn't until 6 p.m. at night they were able to get started. 6 p.m. at night,
Yeah.
they were able to get started. And this is a 2-day trip up the river.
Yep.
They actually made the trip overnight.
Yep.
Hauling butt, freezing, because apparently this monsoon rain came down. And even though it may be 80 degrees outside, and you're going in this boat on the water in the driving rain with nothing but your whatever, your little jacket or whatever, and he had to hold a flashlight on the front of the boat
Yeah.
because it was pitch black out there. There's no
Yeah.
light out there, nothing out there, no ambient light. And the little tape I'm going to show you right now, the little piece of video I'm going to show you right now, is from excuse me, is from this is the Lex Friedman show,
Right.
and this is the third time that Paul Rizzolo has been on the Lex Friedman show, and this guy does like 3 hours at a time. So this is from when they first got there. I gotta make a little adjustment on your picture. Don't you move. You just hold it right there. I'm just gonna make a little adjustment here because you're I only see kind of half of your face there. So let's get that fixed. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. We got to go this and close that. And I'm sorry, folks, but this kind of thing just bugs the crap out of me. And there we go. Okay. Got that fixed. And then we got to drag you over here. Okay. All fixed. All better. Okay. Back to this is Lex Friedman, and I'm about to turn it over to Paul Rizzolo when they turned the cameras on, and
Yeah.
this is what they saw. And we're gonna play just a few minutes of this, and maybe a few minutes of something else down the road here. Here we go.
In order for any of this to make sense, I have to show you this footage. And this has not been shown ever before. This is a world first. I mean, up until now, that's the other thing, we're sitting there this day and the only thing you've ever seen are these blurry images from someone's cell phone from 100 meters away of the uncontacted tribes. And we're sitting there with, 800 millimeters with a 2x teleconverter and, R5s. And so this is, as we're looking through the farms, anticipating the tribe coming. I'll put a little bit of volume so you can hear it. And then you can see this is the moment. This is us running when they're out. They're coming down the beach. Yeah. We're just. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Now
You see how many thousands of butter.
I'm going to pause it here for a second, and folks, I want to warn you that these men are naked. Okay. And you'll see that it looks like they're wearing something, but that's really just a rope that's wrapped around. They like rope.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of them have some very colorful rope, and it turns out they have stolen this from other campsites and things.
Yeah.
But they wrap these ropes around them, and they take their little tallywhacker and they point it up, and it goes under the rope, and then they got their little bag of beans hanging under there.
Yep.
So yeah, so just be mentally prepared for that. You're
Right.
going to see that, but they're natives. It's only
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Just wanted
That's all they ever known.
I just wanted to say that before we carried on. They're making hand signals to each other and getting them to drop their weapons.
Right.
So everybody eventually dropped their weapons, and even you start even seeing some smiles on some faces and stuff, and they're pointing and making gestures and all this, but they can't understand a thing they say.
Right.
And of course, they can't understand the guys. So eventually, one of these guys, he gets a boat. It's a canoe. You just saw it there on the thing. They get a canoe and they fill it up with plantains, and then they just went nuts.
The bananas, and they're not going, okay, we will unload these bananas and use them later. They're my
That guy
bananas.
there, the guy in the white shirt,
Yeah.
he's the guy who had the guts to take the boat out there, knowing full well that he could get one of these 7-foot arrows through him. These arrows are 7 feet long.
Yeah.
Their bows are 7 feet tall. And it's said that they can, let me change the picture here. It's said that they can shoot one, they can pick off a howler monkey in a tree 160 yards away
Yeah.
with one of these things.
Very precise.
And I even saw one piece of video that showed the construction of this bamboo. It's not something you just snap.
Right.
Bamboo, man. Try to snap a stick of bamboo like that. It's not going to happen. But they're made out of flat, straight bamboo. And they even have these feathers on them. And the feathers are turned in such a way as when they fire it, the arrow will spin to stay true.
Yep.
Like that. And I'm like, they have no tools. There are no rocks. So they can't like make tools out of rocks.
Right.
These tribes have never made anything. They live to survive only,
Right.
to eat, and have a little shelter that they make. That's it
Right.
for goodness knows how long, how many hundreds of thousands of years. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
They have never made pottery. They don't have storage bins. It's just one day at a time, all the time.
Yeah.
And it's been that way. And these are these people.
Yeah.
And they just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And most of them are going to. He theorizes that there are thousands of these little tribes out there.
Yeah.
And that probably 99.9% of them have never experienced anyone outside of their little tribe. Oh, while they were doing this with this group of men, and there were a few boys out there too, like they thought like 12, 13, 14 years old. There's a good picture of them there. Yeah, it's got a bunch of still pictures. They actually floated 2 or 3 boats of bananas out
Yeah.
there. These people have never even built a boat.
Yeah.
They don't have boats.
Right.
The jungle is all they know. Surviving out there. And he says to this day, he can't figure out how they can deal with the bot flies and the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what they do about that because it's horrible. It's awful.
Right.
I mean, you got to wear special clothing out there to keep them off you. And some people even wear these things over their heads because they get the bot flies are horrible. They actually burrow into your skin and all. It's nasty.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely nasty stuff. They burrow into your skin and lay their eggs inside you, just inside your arm. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. While they were going through that with these people and floating these plantains out there, they actually heard commotion behind them coming from their camp. And they went back. It was the women. And they were they were stealing the plantains.
Yeah.
They were robbing them of their plantains and running off with them. So he figured after a while, he theorized that this was a plot.
Right.
That this was their plot to steal their food. Because these people, if you look at them, they're skin and bones. Some of them are muscular, right? But they don't get enough to eat.
Right.
And there's also another thing. There's no old people. There are no old people. What does that tell you?
Well, from what they know, because they haven't been able to get into the village.
Yeah, I can tell you that Paul says pretty knowledgeably that there are no old people in these tribes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else he knows. Every time he comes on this show and spends 3 hours on it, he reveals new stuff.
Right.
This is brand new stuff that he just experienced this last year.
Right.
So since he did the last podcast with Lex, just, man, just really, really harrowing stories about this stuff.
Yeah.
When you think about that on this planet, you've got that many, probably thousands and thousands of people deep in this rainforest, in this jungle, that have never, ever been outside of their own square mile.
Right.
In their entire lives. They build nothing. They have nothing. They're naked. Oh, man. It's mind-blowing. Does that blow your mind?
Yeah.
It freaks me out, man.
It's kind of crazy, but and that's the cool. That's the funny part is like they're trying to be peaceful with these guys and everything, but they don't. The tribe doesn't know if they're good people or bad people and everything.
And they've ascertained that. That's one of the things. I'm glad you brought that up, because the tribe has. Hang on, look at my timer. The tribe they found kind of figured out ways to communicate with them.
Right.
And what they found out is like, are you good people or are you bad people?
Yeah.
Are you the ones cutting the trees down?
You're the ones taking our trees. Yep.
Are you the guys taking the trees? And they've convinced them that they are not the ones taking their trees, that they're trying to save the trees.
Right.
Man, there are trees in there that are over 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Like 1,500 years old, some of these things have been tested out at, which is crazy when you think about it. And these illegal loggers are cutting these trees down.
Yep.
And then I've seen a picture of one of these big logging camps in the Amazon that's not supposed to be there. And their other big enemy are the narco terrorists who are cutting across jungles and things for drugs. Cocaine basically comes from South America. Yeah. Right? Doesn't come from here. It doesn't come from Europe. It comes from South America. And South America is mostly the Amazon.
Right.
You've got big cities all around and stuff, but man, the Amazon is this huge, untamed, undiscovered place.
Right.
And man, it's just to think that in 2026, we still have that on Earth, and it's not extreme bitter cold like Antarctica or even Greenland, for that matter, to bring up a topic. But man, look at these guys. They're like pointing fingers and go, "Who the hell are these people? What are you? Are you the evil ones? Are you the bad guys? The bad ones?" Anyway, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. Anyway, we kind of beat that one to death, but that's man, what a freaky subject that is to me. It's just absolutely
It would be
freak show.
crazy to be that dude and stand in front of that tribe and be like, okay, I can literally die at any second.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm still alive is an achievement.
Well, the stories like they've gone in searching for people who have disappeared.
Yeah.
And they have found them with like 50 arrows sticking out of them.
Porcupine, they call
Yeah,
it.
call them porcupines, right?
Yeah.
And they shoot first, and they don't bother ask questions.
Yeah, they got no questions.
No. So good idea not to go in there.
Yeah.
A very, very good idea not to go upriver, especially into these little tributaries that don't even have names.
Yeah.
There are whole areas in there that have no name for them.
Yeah.
They've never been. All they've been seen from is from space.
Right.
They don't have names. It's not like they've got charted out regions like this is the so-and-so county or this is the so-and-so prefecture or whatever. None of that.
Right.
None of that. It's just absolute savage wilderness. And it's, man,
It's pretty crazy.
it's very crazy. It's very, very crazy. So, yeah, I highly recommend that you go and watch these. It's Lex Friedman, his channel, just Lex Friedman, Fridman, and he's had a number of great guests on his shows, but these are really just I'm riveted to them.
Right.
This is one of the ones I could easily watch for 3 hours, and at 3 hours I don't want more of it.
Yeah.
It's that compelling.
Yeah.
Absolutely compelling stuff. So anyway, what else should we talk about today? I've got we don't have to go too much longer, but I feel compelled to talk about one thing, and that is we know all about what's going on in Minnesota. I mean, it's been on the news, it's been at everyone's lips, it's been all over everyone's feeds on Facebook and on X. People talking about what's going on in Minnesota, as well as, the whole, well, let me put it like this. Politically speaking, and it's not even political, it's ideological. Ideologically speaking now, we basically got two camps and only two camps. Well, there's a third, and those are the people who just don't care.
Right.
The people who pay it no attention, the people who don't pick up their phone 20 times a day and don't turn on the news at night.
And probably better for it.
Could be. Could be. And just as a kind of in parallel to that, I say one of the reasons why I live in Bryson City is to be away from the big city I was in for 60 years.
Right.
And to be out here and to live high up on a hill with maybe 5 neighbors in proximity, and that's about it.
Right.
And we never talk to each other.
Right.
We never even see each other for the most part. But it is what it is. But I'm getting very concerned that things are coming to a head. And I'm not too concerned about Bryson City.
Right.
But I'm very concerned about people's spirituality.
Right.
And what they are doing to themselves spiritually during this time. Because what we have seen, we've seen people divided up in such a way as let's just define one issue to try to make a delineation between the two groups I'm talking about. All right. And I know I'm dragging this on way too long, but you've got the people who believe in the Constitution of the United States of America and that there are rights and responsibilities in the Constitution and they pertain to American citizens.
Right.
People who are not illegal alien invaders from another country who just walked across the border
Right.
or were flown in mysteriously or whatever. And during this last presidential election, some very clear lines have been drawn. First of all, I'll say the other people are people who believe that anyone who is in our country should be afforded due justice, what they refer to as due justice, that is defined in the Constitution, but is defined for Americans. And this is what we do as Americans. And that people who come across our border have done something illegal.
Right.
They they have made themselves criminals by doing that. They may not be bad people.
Right.
A lot of them are. Considering the fact, especially that Maduro sent his prisoners and his crazy house people, crazy house, sorry, that's not very politically correct, is it? Asylums, call them whatever you want. They emptied all that out and they put those people on the road to Mexico to take them up through the United States, and they did. So we got all of their gang members at Tren de Aragua. We got Mexican drug cartel people just moved right in. And in many cases, these people were given all the benefits that Americans would normally be getting. The Medicare, we're talking about debit cards, free refillable debit cards, places to live, luxury hotels,
Right.
just start banking them up in there and all this stuff. So as an American, I'm against that. I believe that our rights and responsibilities defined by the Constitution for American citizens, and that if you're going to import people to replace a declining population, they should be imported legally. And if they were, I would have nothing to say about that. I couldn't.
Right.
But they weren't. We're talking about, some say as many as 30 million people have entered in this country over the last 20 years illegally. So there's these two camps. It's like you can't get rid of them until you've given them due process. But do you know what that would take? Do you understand what that would take to give each one of these millions of people due process, their time, their court-appointed time to go? And it's not feasible.
Right.
You're talking about overtaxing a system that is already overtaxed. And to me, it just makes no sense. It's not right. You find these people, you detain them, and you deport them, and you tell them don't come back. All these people who came in legally, you have completely jumped the line. You've received all this free stuff from people who don't care that you're not a citizen, that they just want you to be here. Well, let's face it, they turn out to be Democrat voters,
Right.
because it's the Democrats who always let them in. Except for Obama, he sent 3.5 million of them packing.
Yeah.
The same is true for other Democrat presidents in the past too. They've done their share of deporting illegal aliens. They've all done it.
Right.
Up until Joe Biden. And that's when it all changed. But something else changed in this country too, and that is there's a large group of people who decided that this one issue, and it really is this one issue now, because other issues have been done away with, like Palestine, the Palestinian thing and all that.
Yeah.
Now nobody cares about that anymore.
Right.
And all those protesters and the popping veins and right? They don't care about that anymore. All they care about is that the immigration control people who are trying to do their jobs and rooting these people out and getting rid of many of whom are violent criminals, sex abusers, child sex abusers, all kinds of stuff. And now, of course, we know about the fraud in Minneapolis, in the entire state of Minnesota as well.
Right.
All the false corporations set up, all the false businesses set up that receive millions of dollars in taxpayer money just to help them right along because they're minorities.
Right.
Well, we know that, one estimate I read was as much as $30 billion just
Right.
in the state of Minnesota.
Right.
And that they've really only started scraping the surface on it to get to it. So there's this large group of white people, mostly women, and then some other groups, let's say LGBTQIA plus them, along with the liberal white women and the LGBTQ, and then Antifa, which is supposed to stand for anti-fascist. But the more you learn about them, the more you find out about them, is that they are just against anything that could be considered conservative, Christian, Republican.
Right.
They're against that. And that they somehow can manage to be for anything that is left wing, Democrat, godless. I'm
Right.
saying, I'm just calling them godless because they're godless people. They don't, it's two very, very different kinds of people. But what is it, Chevy? Because you got to have an opinion on this. What is it that makes those people do things like barge into a church yesterday morning, disrupt a Sunday morning service in Minneapolis? And did you see any of the footage of that?
I saw the Don Lemon stuff.
Did you see the people screaming at the other people at
No.
the people at church? Well, one of the things that happened was a large group of these people got up and walked out of that church immediately. As soon as these people broke into the church during the Sunday morning service, and it looked to me like there was about 30 or 40 of them.
Right.
And the people who were left in the church were at their mercy. And they just they hit them with this barrage of crap and yell and scream and you are this and you are that. And they don't know them. They don't know them from Adam.
Right.
And these people aren't saying a word back to them. No, some are frightened. Some have babies that are crying and young kids who are just frightened out of their skulls. And they're just doing this. Why? Because somebody said that they thought that that pastor at that church might be okay with ICE
Right.
being in the city. Is that why? So this is what I'm saying, and I'm also going to connect Renee Good to this, and the stupid Hollywood celebrities who wear these "Be Good" pins at the Golden Globe Awards. Renee Good. I'm not going to say anything about her character or proclivities as a person. We all know she's been married 3 times, 2 men, 1 woman, whatever. Obviously, not great with relationships. A lot of stuff gone wrong there, whatever. But this is a person who don't know if it was one day when it just clicked, because obviously she hasn't lived her whole life this way. None of these people who are currently doing this have lived their whole lives this way, because this did not exist until Donald Trump sent ICE officers into cities to root out these illegal aliens, most of whom are criminals, because they want to take the big time criminals out first, take them out and deport them. Well, they're not having it. They're not having it, and they are willing to die. They are willing to protest to a point where it's lowered down to screaming and yelling and pushing and shoving and loud siren, throwing fireworks, big exploding fireworks at police officers and all that. And then these stupid celebrities, they wear this "Be Good" button. So going back to Renee Good, she's a mom. She got kids at home. She's got a spouse who was with her when she was killed. So obviously the two of them together figured this was more important than taking care of those babies. Because what if the worst should happen? You got to ask yourself, if the worst should happen, what's going to happen to my kids? Do you think they ever thought about that? I'm thinking not. So, and being a father myself and now a grandfather who has always fiercely been protective of my own children, wanting to know where they are and what's happening every second of the day, to the point where you're babysitting, you can't do anything else.
Right.
You can't put on your headphones and enjoy some Led Zeppelin because one of them's back here drinking the bleach. You know, if you take your eyes off them so I don't know if there was a babysitter, daycare. I don't know, but if the worst that happens, the worst thing could happen, and you don't come home, Those kids don't have a mom anymore. I don't understand the priority, Chevy. Explain it to me.
uh, I- the only way I've been able to think about all this and everything, because I've pretty much have gotten to a point where my heart is just breaking for humanity. Period. Point blank.
Amen to that.
No matter what side you're on and everything. Um, as it says in the gospel, I think it's Paul. He says, "I'm just here to make God known and who God is, and tell people about Jesus Christ."
Amen.
And I'm having to get to that point and kind of shut these things out, because like I kind of think of it like this. If we were having people come against what we believe in, our faith and everything, going into the churches and everything, and how much in rage we are that the left is doing this. They're coming into our churches now and everything and disrupting, and
It's against the law.
yeah,
Did you know that?
yeah, and it's sad that I don't know. I don't think sad is a word, but it's just a little inkling of what other places are going through, where they're being murdered for worshiping and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
South Africa.
yeah. And I try to think of it like this, that these people are 100% in the beliefs of what they're believing and everything, and that's why they're doing what they're doing and everything. And
But why? How does it take you to the point where nothing else matters, not even your own children?
I mean, you've got to think of it like this too and everything. If somebody came to me and said, or came into my church or wherever I was believing, or even if we went into South Africa or whatever, or South America, and went in there to proclaim Christ and preach the gospel and disciple and go in there, and knowing, yeah, we're probably going to get killed for what we're doing. My I I I know in the back of my head that I'm making decisions that are, yeah, probably going to affect my family and everything, but I'm also making decisions that are going to affect people's eternal living and everything.
Yes.
And so this is the only way I've been able to kind of comprehend in my head and everything, that these people are in their beliefs, or willing to die for their beliefs, because I'm willing to lay my life down for my beliefs and everything. If somebody walked in here and said, deny Christ or be killed, I'd be like, well, I'll see you on the other side, brother, and everything. And
You know that they are godless, that they are atheists who laugh at you
right,
and mock you for your belief in Jesus Christ.
that's all right.
It is all right. Of
yeah.
course, it's all right.
And I wouldn't say all
But
of them are godless. And see, that's the thing. Like,
you can't do what
so
they're doing and have a faith in Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. You can't.
true, but okay. Could you say,
I'm not going to tell them that they'll never make it into heaven or whatever, because that's not my job to do that.
right? Would you say the things, and I know there are some things that happened on January 6th that are fishy, that were led and everything, and kind of set up
Sure.
for what it was.
Yeah.
But there are some people that were there for real life and did some crazy things and injured some real life people. Are they godless?
Probably
I mean, most of them will call themselves conservative Christians.
they would, but they don't have an actual relationship with Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Right. See, that's my whole thing, is just like, I'm not going to call anybody godless and everything. I'm going to just say, hey, I love you. Um, we're all damned if we don't have Christ in our lives and everything.
I'm going to go one step further and say that these people who broke into into this church, they never once thought about dying for it. They never
Yeah.
thought they would die for it. In fact, they probably thought there would be no ramifications for it. There would be absolutely no blowback, that they could take. They're feeling so emboldened now and so free to just go in there and do that. And to me, that's a precursor to worse stuff.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is because like we live in Bryson City and everything. You actually go to a few churches here, they would do something. There's a couple of churches that me and my wife have been to at right when service starts, the doors are locked.
Mm-hmm.
There's there's one church we attended to not a couple weeks ago in Franklin. They hired the actual police to stand in there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It's sad that's come to this point and everything.
But it has.
But I mean, that's why I was like, they've also got to be careful because there are churches that would do something.
You mean people are carrying in there?
People are
And
carrying
the
the actual
pew-pews.
police.
The pew-pews
Yeah.
are there in the church.
Oh yeah. But my whole thing on this is just like I said, my heart is breaking for humanity because we're doing nothing, and it we know because the Bible tells us this is not going to get any better. It's going to become more of a head, and it's going to explode because it all has to for the Antichrist to come on board and make peace everywhere to make it all look nice and everything. Because
What does that look like in Bryson City?
I really don't know because people would think small town and everything, but we have our big town politics fights.
There's corruption.
Yeah,
We know there's
we have
corruption.
our corruption.
Let me
we
say
have
this.
our fights.
Let me say this. Maybe get this on a different track here. I can walk down the street in Bryson City wearing a, let's say I could wear a Make America Great Again hat, a red Make America Great Again hat. I can walk down the street in Bryson City and I might get some jeers. I might even get one brave soul to try to come knock that thing off my head.
Right.
Possibly. It's not good.
Right.
On the other hand, I can tell you that if you walk down the street in Bryson City with bright green hair and lots of piercings and tattoos all over your body and wearing F ice
Right.
on a t-shirt and you're walking down the street maybe with somebody else like you or whatever, nobody's going to say a word to you. In fact, we're probably scared too.
Yeah.
And either that or else they're laughing at you behind your back. And they're just like, don't want to mess with the crazy,
Right.
the tyrant.
Right.
Right. Now, I could be called a crazy and a tyrant for wearing a Make America Great Again hat, but most of us know what that means.
Right.
Right. And the overt flip flop of that, like I just discussed, like the one with the bright green hair and the la la la, right? Things are not equal.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I mean they're not, and I mean,
We're busy praying for them, and they're busy scheming against us.
I mean,
They're scheming to take it down and to watch it burn. Not a problem in Bryson City. I get it.
yeah.
And if it became a problem, I would be shocked.
Right.
I would be absolutely shocked. And there's probably 100,000 Bryson cities all over this country.
Right.
Maybe not in Washington or Oregon, but but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, I think you'd actually be surprised. Were you here during the George Floyd times?
No.
Okay. So during the George Floyd times, they actually did have
5 years ago.
Yeah, they did actually have a huge protest and walk through they shut off the whole
Who is they?
a bunch of people in Bryson City.
It wasn't just the geriatrics from the nursing home that they emptied out and put on the street?
No. You're looking at one church that's here in Bryson City that I have a hard time calling a church.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
And they did it was a silent walk through the town and everything, and that's what I kind of do like about this town and everything is like you do have your beliefs and everything. I'm gonna let you walk through the town and have your protest and everything, and do what you're gonna do and everything. It's when you start harming other people and harming other people's businesses and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, now this is ridiculous.
It's basically gangs right now roaming the streets, looking to break laws,
Right.
and disrupt police operations.
Right.
And
I mean, I have my issues with the way ICE is going and
Why?
everything. My biggest issues are I would like to see the actual figures of who's being deported and who's being arrested and who's
Because you
being
don't
detained.
trust them. And what does that mean? Does that mean they're throwing Americans out?
I would there's I don't think they're throwing Americans out, but there is a chance they're picking up Americans and detaining them, and
Absolutely, that's going to happen.
we're
You're
get
right. That's going to happen.
we are getting to a point where people are getting pulled over and asked for papers.
Come on, that's Gestapo bullshit. Come on, nobody's saying your papers, please. Nobody's saying that. They're asking you for your driver's license. They're asking you for your ID.
Right.
That's it. That's it. I can live with that.
But
It's not the Gestapo. It's not Germany. It's not the Nazis.
no, I don't think it's any of that.
Good.
And everything. I'm not on that. I'm not on that and everything.
They're not going to ask you for your driver's license. You're a white man. I'm a white man.
Right.
They're not going to ask me for my driver's license. All right. Now there are clearly illegal aliens floating in and out of Bryson City. I know there are. There are whole camps. There's a camp off one of these exits up. I don't know if they got rid of it. I heard they got rid of it for a while. I don't know if it's back or not or whatever. And they were a bunch living out on the island out there, little island. What's it called?
Governor's Island or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. They cleaned all that up and cleaned it out.
Yeah.
But I did hear that the trash was coming back, so I'm not sure. I really don't know. I
Right.
don't leave my house. So
Right.
what can I say? I go to Anthony's. Sometimes go down to the drugstore. Go down to Walgreens. Sometimes I go to the Elders
Right.
Hardware. That's about it.
Right.
That's about it. That's about all I got. I haven't taken a trip for a long time.
Right.
Other than going to Glenn's house in Kentucky for a few days. That's it. And from what I've seen, and just the little gray-haired geriatric protests that I've seen in Bryson City up there on the corner of Everett and Main Street, I'm like, I don't really need to go outside. I don't need to leave my property.
Right.
You know, I just need to make sure this place is taken care of, that my grandkids here are safe, and that we keep an eye on what's going on out there.
Right.
Because it matters. My family's safety matters.
Right.
Unlike those on the other side who don't seem to give a crap about their families or their friends, the people they grew up with, their established relationships, they've thrown all of that away. And now it's all about constant 24-hour rage, absolute unhinged rage against anything having to do with the Donald Trump administration.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to end with Donald Trump. It depends. It depends on how far we get by 2028.
Yeah.
How far along this gets by 2028. We're going to find out.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many irons in the fire right now. So much going on. What with Venezuela, with Greenland, with China. Holy crap. This whole new relationship between China and Canada. Have you heard anything about that? Oh, my God. What's a Canadian prime minister? He was just in China.
It's not Trudeau anymore, so I'm not
No,
sure.
no. It's I was thinking Starmer, but that's England. I can't remember this guy's name.
Right.
But he gives a little speech in China at the end of the conference they had. And he says, I feel so much better about what we've got, our relationship that we have now. And I think we are much better positioned now for the new world order. And the whole world freaked out when he said that.
Yeah.
Because you know what the new world order is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Maybe he doesn't know what it is. No, I think he knows what it is. And so people freaking out about that.
Yeah.
Like, here's our neighbor. They are surrounded on one side, on two sides by the United States right now. And it could be three sides in the near future.
Right.
And they're talking about buddying up to China. China is just, as a nation, it is a criminal nation. The way they've stolen all the intellectual property and created it for themselves. There are no patents. They don't care about any of that.
Right.
They'll take your thing apart and they'll make their version of it and they'll sell it back to you.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been doing for decades now.
Yeah.
Their trade practices, their human rights is abysmal. I mean, we know that their whole population is going like this right now because they just stuck with the one baby thing for so long.
Yeah.
And now it's, I guess, something like 60% of their population is over 65.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's the thing. Like,
That's a total collapse right there.
yeah, like I said, things are gonna get a lot worse. I don't even think before it gets better. I think things are just gonna get
Right.
a lot worse. I mean, and like I said, in the Bible, it even references certain countries and everything, and it doesn't really reference America.
No.
We're gonna fall. We have to, for the one world to come together. And so I know where my faith lies. I know where my end lies, and it's not in this place.
No.
I like that we live in America. We have some things we are able to do that not many other countries are able to do. But in the end, it doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter how bad it gets.
It,
I mean, at what point does my concern for my children or my grandchildren end?
um,
I pray every day.
right,
I mean, as you know, because I've told you this many times, is that I believe that in my old age here, the only thing I've got left is telling people about Jesus Christ.
right,
All right, and that in studying the scriptures, especially Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the apostles afterwards, Paul and all of them, right? All of them, Timothy, all of them, that there's so much to learn to live by from those words, and the humility of people like Paul, who just completely gave himself up for his faith in Jesus.
right.
And the things that came out of his mouth, the beautiful, beautiful words of peace that came out of his mouth, things that I grabbed onto and held onto my whole life. And the message is simple: put your trust in the Lord and let everything else go.
Yep.
Put your trust in the Lord, let everything else go. And it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Can be very hard.
We're human,
especially with somebody with responsibilities towards others.
Yeah, we're human. Trust me, I have my worries for my wife and my son.
Mhm.
I worry that I have a true belief that I might not see the end time, but I think it's going to happen in my son's lifetime.
No, we don't know.
And it scares me what he's going to see and everything.
Well,
but I know my responsibility is to make sure his heart is right and he is ready when it's his time.
I actually think it's going to happen faster than that, simply because I've witnessed the acceleration in technology.
Yeah.
And especially with AI, also with quantum computing. These things, it's going to be, I'm not saying it's going to be like 2001, like HAL, or even like Colossus, the Forbin project, if you've ever heard of that, where there were these two colossal computers, one in the United States, one in Russia,
Right.
and they decided to hook up and basically end life as we know it on planet Earth, right? Fail safe. There's so much prophecy out there through motion pictures and stuff that I have seen my whole entire life, and I don't think it's going to end that way. I really don't think it's going to end that way. But I've just seen the rate at which it has all been advancing, and I believe that especially when quantum computing becomes the thing, that our lives are then forfeit, and that we'll have nothing anymore.
Yeah.
In that whole prediction of you will own nothing and like it, that comes true at that point, and I don't think it's that far off.
Well, I don't think so either. And like I said, a lot things have to get much worse. So like I said, so the Antichrist can come on the scene and make true peace in the Middle East, and everybody is going to be one world currency. You can't buy or sell or trade without this one currency,
right?
And everything. And
well, when they try to put it in your skin, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
The mark of the beast. When they try to put it on you, what are you going to do, Chevy?
Yeah. As of right now, I would hope I have the strength and the honor to be able to say no, thank you.
Well, it's a choice, isn't it?
It is.
And for people like me, it's not a choice, because I know if they took me down, because if they, whatever they did, whatever to me if I didn't take it, or if they put it in my arm, I would cut my arm off.
Yeah.
Uh, if I go, I go.
Yeah.
But
See,
I'm 68,
we'll
so
see, but
it's a little bit of a difference.
kind of goes back to the people that are not worrying about their families and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, at that point, I'd be worrying about my family, but I'm also not going to take that mark.
Right. Yeah. Because we know what happens if you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. All right. Well, it's probably a good opportunity right now for me to give my little weekly talk that I do, and we'll get on out of here. We've been going well over an hour, believe it or not. Ooh, hour 22 already. All right. Well, Chevy and I talk a lot about being Christians and the fact that we believe in Jesus Christ, and we believe in the stories and the gospel messages. We believe in it all. And I was going to do a little talk this week about kind of wrapping up my study on the Ethiopian Bible, but I'll save that for next time. Maybe even just a little individual thing we do. But I first before we well, I'll just get my message out of the way and we'll wrap it up. So we are Christians. I've been a Christian since junior high school. They used to call it junior high school.
Right.
Now it's middle school. Yeah, have I always lived that life? No, absolutely not. In fact, I went through a really bad period, probably 7 or 8 years, very, very bad period. While I'm talking about while being a father, a married man, went through a very bad period. But I came back and I got very serious about my faith. And it basically just happens like this. You either believe you came from something or you came from nothing. And if you came from something, it's good to find out what that something was.
Right.
And in the Bible, it says that God created the heaven and the earth. He created you, He created me, and we were knit together very lovingly with only the best, of God's intentions to create humankind. But it all went wrong, and His sin corrupted the flesh, the thoughts of man, separation from God, all that all happened. And without getting too morose about it or getting too far into it, I say you can be saved. You can come back from all of that. And it's this simple. Just bow your head, close your eyes, and say, God, I believe in you. I know that I'm separated to you because of my sin, because of all the fleshly desires that I have sought after and everything that I've gone for that was not of you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. And I understand that you gave us a way out. You made a way by sending your only Son, who is fully God, Jesus Christ, who is fully God and yet fully man at the same time. And He lived His life among the people of earth, teaching and giving them the information they needed to navigate their lives back to God. And in doing that, He said, all you have to do is believe in me and you will be saved. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Jesus Christ suffered an unbelievable, torturous death at the hands of people who were more interested in maintaining their power than they were in being saved and being reunited with God. But that was the whole purpose for Him to be here. It was for Him to die for our sins, for our iniquity, for our misgivings, for our purposely separating ourselves from God. Again, all you have to do is believe that, apologize to God, accept Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, and you're there. You've arrived. And how you live after that is your responsibility. I would highly encourage you to take that step and to do that, and then get yourself plugged in to the Scriptures and start learning. Read the New Testament. It's a good place to start. And you could probably read through the whole thing in a couple of days and go back and do it again.
Yeah. There's always something new to learn.
Yeah. There's really nothing else you need. There's lots of great stuff out there. Lots of great stuff, lots of great YouTube videos and great teachings out there. Great stuff that can probably relate to you in your real life. That would be helpful, very, very helpful. But I'm telling you, you got to make the decision first. And then just go through and read the Scriptures. Understand what it is your life is supposed to be about. Right. So, Chevy, I want to thank you so much for being here with me when you could. and you've been a great co-host. And I know it's not over. I just know I know you got to get some stuff together, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I look forward to whoever you send my way to
Absolutely.
sit in that chair and face what you've been facing all these many weeks that you've been doing it. But it's been great, and I love you, man.
Love you, brother.
Love you very much, and I appreciate you being here and doing this. To the rest of you, I'll say thanks for watching the Sand Show, and I hope that you'll come back for the next one. We'll see you next time. Bye.